Ah, friends and neighbors, welcome back to the next edition of Monday Night Live. I'm Dr. Ken Berry, a family physician. This is my wife, partner, and love of my freaking life, Neisha Salas-Berry,
What's up?
health coach and registered nurse. For the next hour, we're going to be hanging out with you, answering your questions, no matter how controversial your questions may be. We welcome questions from vegans, plant-based, whole foods, plant-based. I even welcome questions from Dr. Greger and Dr. Bernard.
They won't be here.
They might be. You never know.
I don't think they're going to be here.
You never know.
We got a few announcements. We'll come to those after everybody hops on around the 15-minute mark.
Including one big announcement that's going to come later. So
you follow me. You already know what that is. All right, let's get straight into it.
All right.
It's not wasting any time. And Dr. Berry, besides weight loss, what do you find are the biggest differences due to the carnivore lifestyle?
Well, any of the proper human diet lifestyle options, keto, ketovore, carnivore, I find that people have much less chronic inappropriate inflammation. And then also it really helps, especially carnivore, helps people recognize and discover which foods are addictive for them, which foods are hyper palatable for them. Even though full fat fermented cheese has a good macronutrient content as far as fat, protein, and carbs go, it's still hyper palatable to many people because of the casomorphins. And some people can overeat cheese far past the point of being comfortably stuffed. And that's just too much food, and that's going to slow down your weight loss and other goals. And so I think carnivore is the ultimate elimination diet, as Neisha loves to say. Do your N=1 experiment and do 90 days of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And at the end of that, you may find out, you may discover that you feel better than you ever dreamed you could feel again.
Yep. I look at carnivore more as an elimination diet than a lifestyle, although many people who do the 90 days decide to continue on and make it a lifestyle or tweak it and do what I do, which is mostly meat-based. And I know which vegetables I can include that don't affect my autoimmune disease. I know how much dairy I can tolerate, which types of dairy I can tolerate. It's really a gateway to clarity and understanding where your body and your disease processes put you on the proper human diet spectrum. And that's what I promote carnivore as. But obviously, there are many people in this space and just regular people using carnivore as just their way of eating. That's just where they feel the best and they love it. There's
really three aspects of any food that you have to take into consideration for you personally. Number one, is it low in carbohydrates? Because it always needs to be. Number two, is it inflammatory for me personally? Because I can eat some things that Neisha cannot touch, or she'll become inflamed. Vice versa is also true. And then third, is this food hyper palatable for me, meaning I'm addicted to it, or it contains casomorphins or some other substance that means I can overeat it past the point of being comfortably stuffed. When you honor those three principles of a proper human diet, good health is waiting for you.
Shout out to Unspoken Butterfly, who says the sexiest doctor ever and the smartest doctor ever.
Oh, well, thank you so much. What's their email?
Funny. Adrian, hi berries from Adelaide, Australia. Carnivore for 6 months, except for an Atkins shake with an avocado in the morning. Thoughts, please.
Well, if you only have one Atkins shake with an avocado in it once a month, then I don't think it's a big deal at all. But I would not do that every day. Atkins shakes are not clean ingredients. They will spike your blood sugar and your insulin level. And if you don't believe me, you can test that with a glucometer. And I just don't like the ingredients in the Atkins shake. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Atkins, whose name is on the Atkins shakes and bars, would turn over in his grave if he knew what was in Atkins bars and Atkins shakes. So you follow the Atkins diet. I'm fine with that, but do not buy the junk Atkins products.
Thank you, Lisa.
Oh, thanks, Lisa.
Meat on your bones. 53 with type 2 diabetes and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and a lot of weight to lose doing Ketovore, but have a history of dysplastic colon polyps and concerned with intake of red meat. Should I worry? Is data accurate on this?
So what you should really be worried about is you should be worried about consuming too many carbohydrates, too much fructose, too many inflammatory chemicals. Red meat has never been proven to increase your risk of colon cancer or to cause colon cancer. I know the World Health Organization says that it's a class 2 carcinogen. And I know that all you guys, whatever the World Health Organization says, you believe it in your deepest heart of hearts, right? So yeah, you're doing exactly what you want to do, not what you should be doing, not only for your type 2 diabetes, but also for your fatty liver, and also to protect your colon from an increasing risk of colon cancer. Keep in mind, humans have been eating meat for 3 million years. Only just in the last few decades has it suddenly started causing colon cancer, ignoring all the other things we've added to our diet in the other 3 decades, and also all the chemicals and all the electromagnetic radiation and all the other things that may be a problem. So it's not the meat.
For those of you who are new, welcome. Put new in the comments. We go for an hour. We answer as many as we can. It's not guaranteed we will get to your question, but we try our best. Make sure you're paying attention to the blue names with a blue wrench beside of them. Those are our PhD official coaches. If they answer your question, pay attention. They're spending time with us out of the goodness of their heart. So if they answer you, respect that answer. It's exactly what he would have told you.
Yep.
Okay. Michelle, hey, Dr. Berry, my husband is on
carnivore diet.
Okay. He was 305. Now he's 219.
Whoa! Huzzah!
5'9", 50 years old, wondering what is the right way and how to stop the weight loss after his goal weight. Thank you for all you do. We appreciate it.
This is a great question, and we commonly get this. Now, listen carefully to what I'm about to say. The keto diet, the Ketovore diet, and the carnivore diet are not weight loss diets. Anybody going, wait, what? These diets, these proper human diet options are weight optimization ways of eating, okay? So if you're overweight, they're going to help you burn off excess body fat. If you're underweight, they're going to help you gain weight, which has happened in thousands of people. As you approach your ideal body weight, either coming from losing or coming from gaining, the weight change is going to slow down. And then when you get to your ideal body weight zone, that's where you're going to stay. So don't worry, Michelle. He's not going to turn into a walking skeleton.
This is assuming that you are not severely restricting your caloric intake. You're not cutting your calories down to 900. You're not restricting portions. You're eating till you're full, eating when you're hungry, and following the PhD guidelines.
Exactly.
Ragnar.
Generally, about how long does it take to start cannibalizing muscle mass in a water fast? Well, and so it depends on a lot of variables, Ragnar, but one of the most important variables is how much stored body fat you have, because your body fat doesn't float. It doesn't levitate in midair. It is anchored with connective tissue. And so when you're going on a longer water fast, especially if you have lots of excess fat to lose, then as you metabolize and breathe out and urinate away that fat, yes, that's where fat goes when you lose it, then the connective tissue is also going to be broken up through a process called autophagy. And that is made of amino acids, which is what proteins are built of. And so you're actually consuming the fat just like you'd eaten it, but it's coming off your body. But you're also consuming the connective tissue, aka protein, that is also coming off your body, but you no longer need it to hold that fat in place. And so most people notice only a minor loss in muscle mass if they're doing a 5-day or longer fast. Now, Neisha and I don't really advocate doing longer fasts. I think if you're eating low carb enough, it's not really necessary. But I think it's perfectly safe and fine to do. Human beings have been doing 5, 6, 7-day water fasts for millennia. It's not a new faddish thing. It's very, very ancient, and we've been doing it a long time.
I have 2 people to give a shout out to. Brittany Olson, down from 208 to 125. She's running.
Say it with me.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
She's running 6 miles a day. Woo, girl.
Dang.
Life-saving food.
Yes.
Patricia Clayton, she's new. Her A1C is 4.9. It's never been this low. So thankful I found you guys. Praise the Lord. Amen, baby.
How about everybody put your success story in the comments? The thing that you're most proud that a proper human diet helped you do. Physical health, mental health, family, social, productivity, work, motivation. What's the thing that the proper human diet did for you that you loved the most? Tell everybody in the comments.
Yeah, we love seeing those, and other people need
Yes.
to see those.
Absolutely.
Oh, sorry. Peggy, thank you. Picky Nikki.
Picky Nikki.
Starting week 4 of Carnivore, loving the results in decreased inflammation. I'm having some swelling in my legs and feet, wondering if it's an adjustment period, sodium increase. Should I do anything? Thanks.
Make sure you're moving enough, Picky Nikki. Every time you take a step while walking or jogging or running or sprinting, that actually pushes the fluid up in your venous vasculature and will help draw out any interstitial fluid that you might have and help keep that fluid at a bare minimum down in your feet. When you're eating carnivore, you get to salt your food to taste. So if your food tastes delicious and doesn't taste too salty, then you're not adding too much salt. That's not what's going on.
We love the book called The Salt Fix by Dr. James D. Nicolantonio. It is on Amazon. There is an Audible version. If you're someone who's really confused about salt and it not being the devil that we've been told, check out that book. It's a good read. Put it on your book list for 2024. Y'all, the new year, it's right around the corner. We're going to take one more question, then we're going to get to some announcements. Dark sky.
I was prescribed buspirone for severe anxiety. I said no to benzos or an SSRI. I hear most people tolerate it well with few side effects. Yeah, it is definitely less bad than the benzodiazepines. Also less bad than all but the lowest dose of SSRIs. Some people can notice a little bit of an addictive potential to buspirone, but not many people. And then some people, if they take a high dose for long enough, they can have some weird little withdrawals. So when you get done taking it, you want to wean it down slowly. But overall, that's one of the less bad ones you can take.
Addendum. I was on Buspar. I call it the Buspar is what the other name for it. Back in the day when I first started having my autoimmune symptoms, one of my symptoms was depression and anxiety. I took it. I hated it. But what I'm here to tell you is that changing your diet, getting off the inflammatory foods, and that sometimes can mean the healthy foods like some vegetables and some fats and some oils and some spices, it can move you towards being able to come off these type of medications with your provider's supervision. Obviously. Also another book that you should put on your to-do list is Brain Energy by PhD Dr. Christopher Palmer.
MD.
That was free last week on Audible. If you have an Audible subscription, I put that in our community. If you didn't see that, if you have an Audible subscription, it might still be free. Please go get that right now.
Yep. How many of you guys watching this, all 2,700 of you, how many of you noticed an improvement in mental health while eating a proper human diet, either keto, ketovore, or carnivore? Put it in the comments. Was it depression that got better, anxiety, OCD, ADHD? That was mine that got much better with carnivore. What mental health improvement have you noticed on a proper human diet? People are reading these comments.
Thank you. And Georgia, vitamin D is 19. What's your favorite supplement brand?
So my favorite supplement for vitamin D is the 7 vitamin D rich foods that I talk about in my YouTube video with that title. My second favorite is getting out in the sunlight. And I know it's not the time of year for sunlight. And so then thirdly, if you'll find a vitamin D3 supplement, not D2, but D3 in a gel cap that has coconut oil as the oil in the gel cap. You can also get one that has vitamin D3 and vitamin K2 in the same capsule. And that's my third favorite supplement. But my number one favorite supplement is sardines and cod liver.
Thank you, Marie. Okay, time for announcements.
Yes.
While we're doing this, share this video with a friend or a loved one.
Hit the thumbs up.
Your doctor, your nurse practitioner,
share it with your doctor.
PA, your nurse friend, somebody who might benefit from this information, especially the comment section. Okay, first up, some of you got an email from Dr. Berry that you were worried wasn't Dr. Berry. It is, in fact, Dr. Berry. If you want to get a free copy of the PhD guidebook, updated, new format, it looks amazing. You can sign up in the link in the description for Dr. Berry's newsletter. When you sign up, you get that free ebook. If you think you're already on the newsletter, check your spam and mark as this is not spam so that anything else he sends you, you actually get. I also have an email list you can sign up for. I don't know if that link's in the description.
I didn't have it. I don't have it in the show notes.
You can go to my Instagram. It's in the link in the bio.
You follow Neisha on Instagram, right?
You should. It's happening over there.
You should.
I've been posting more over there than YouTube. Second, this shirt that you have been asking for. Been asking and asking. It's the softest, most coziest sweatshirt. I really made sure to get the best top quality sweatshirt out there. It's a crew neck, not a hoodie, just a regular sweatshirt. That's coming Friday, Black Friday.
Oh.
Okay, so that'll be available on shopphd.com. Do we have that on here? Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Shopphd.com. If you are in our private community, I will be sending you guys a discount code exclusively for
it pays to be in the tribe.
The community members, so keep a lookout for that. We do not have a Facebook group. Reminder, there are many Facebook groups on the Facebook that have his face in the profile picture. It's not him. We do not have one. We only have the private community. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming up in the community, especially after the new year. So consider giving yourself the gift of a membership for Christmas. But if not, we're on YouTube. You can see us next week. It's
Absolutely.
Fine. The books, Common Sense Labs on Amazon, Kicking Ass After 50, also on Amazon and Audible. And my holiday cookbook is on Amazon. #1 bestseller. Woo-woo. And the most exciting news is over the past year, I've been formulating a digital planner. It's also printable, and that will be coming out in the middle of December. If you're on my newsletter or you're in the group, you'll know when it drops. This is something I've been working on, like I said, over a year. It walks you through 365 days of sticking to your goals and doing an N=1 experiment, step by step. You're going to love it.
Oh, and transforming your life too.
And transforming my life. Yeah. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this, so keep a lookout for that. We are not going to KetoCon/Hack Your Health this year. So if you are buying tickets so you can see him, he will not be there. Please do not waste your money because he won't be there. We just have other things on our agenda this year. It's a wonderful place to be. If you are new to keto and you just want to meet some new people and hang out and hear some speakers, it's a great thing to do. Austin, Texas, one of our favorite places.
Terry Black's
barbecue. Oh my gosh, check it out if you do go. Say hi to everybody. But we will not be attending that or the low-carb cruise this year. Again, just other priorities for us this year, including seeing our family more.
It's a great cruise this year. They're going to Alaska. There's going to be great speakers on it, but we will not be on the cruise this year. What else you got over there? Yeah,
that's the main thing. Hi, Granny Berry.
Hey, Granny Berry, my 93-year-old sweet grandmother. I love you, Granny.
Sweet
Berry.
And sassy.
Sweet and sassy. Sweet and sour.
And salty.
Yeah, and
just
salty.
Like me. That's why he loves me.
Yeah. You guys say hi to Granny Berry and tell her where you're watching from. She loves it when you do that. Please do that.
She's down in Alabama.
But not Greenbow.
Low carb, low drama.
Yes.
I love that.
Everybody needs some low carb, low drama.
Aging people don't absorb as much protein, therefore eat more protein. This resembles the theory that the body isn't utilizing insulin well, so take more insulin. The latter is pharma shit. Please end my confusion.
Yeah, no, and I love that you're thinking this way, low carb, low drama. You're like, wait a minute, is that really true? And I want all you guys, anytime you hear a truism like blah, 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 I want you to go, does that make common sense? Is there any research on that? I wonder, I want you to always think about everything that comes out of anybody's mouth, including my mouth and this pretty mouth right over here. I want you to always consider anything. So it does look like from the available research that as people get older, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, that it's hard to tease out whether they just don't eat as much protein, because a lot of older folks just want to be on a tea and toast diet. They just want a banana and some cornflakes. They don't really want any protein. Part of it could be from that, but also it looks like that they may just not absorb and utilize protein quite as well as younger people. Now, I don't think this has been definitively proven, but it does look like that's probably true from the existing research. And so out of an abundance of caution, I wouldn't buy protein shakes. That's not why we're saying that, low carb, low drama. We just want you to eat more meat and eggs. That's where we want you to get the protein from. And full disclosure here, we don't sell meat and we don't sell eggs. We eat them. We might sell some meat one day here on the farm, but we're not selling meat this day. So we're not trying to sell you anything. We're just saying, out of an abundance of caution, as you get older, really prioritize the protein and make sure you're getting enough protein. I was going to touch your screen. Sharon, Dr. Berry, when TSH is under 1 and TPO is 900, I'm so tired. I am 2 weeks and a bit on carnivore, lost 20 pounds. So congrats on losing 20 pounds. First of all, a TSH under 1, sometimes if you're on thyroid replacement hormone, then that number may or may not mean you're taking too much. Anytime the TPO antibody is really high, then you're destroying more of your thyroid tissue on an ongoing daily basis. That much is clear. But the TSH number, without knowing your free T3, free T4, and your reverse T3, I would have, and then also, are you taking thyroid replacement? Which one and how much? I need all that information before I can really tell you. But I can tell you, if you've lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks, then you're probably not very hypothyroid, or that wouldn't have happened.
Kimberly,
Thanks,
thank you.
Kimberly.
Adam, mom is 63, 114 pounds, pacemaker, A1C of 5.5, congenital 3rd-degree heart block, no thyroid, taking levothyroxine. Thoughts? Also, I just ate a pound of bacon.
Oh, excellent. Excellent on the pound of bacon. So mom's 63, 114 pounds. Her A1C is beautiful. She's already got her pacemaker for the 3rd-degree heart block. She doesn't have a thyroid, so she's going to have to take thyroid replacement hormone for the rest of her life. If on levothyroxine, she's like, oh, I feel fine, I feel great, and you agree that mom's very active, she seems happy, then I would keep doing exactly what you're doing. If, however, you're like, no, mom's dragging, she doesn't have good energy, I might consider switching to a desiccated natural thyroid replacement hormone. Anything you'd add to that?
It's hard to say not knowing how she feels, because that's I would say
the most
over
important.
half of the information that you should take into consideration. How bad does she feel? How good does she feel?
Yep.
How much room is there for improvement? Unspoken Butterfly says, hey, sexy doctor. She's the one that said,
oh, okay.
Please help the doctors in Sanford, North Carolina. They are nothing like you.
Well, you mean they don't have a beard? Is that what you mean? Oh, no. So you mean they don't recommend a proper human diet? Listen, I can tell you, Unspoken Butterfly, I didn't used to recommend a proper human diet. Back in 2003, 2004, if you'd come to me in my office and said, look, I want to eat just beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Do you think that's okay? I would have said, that's stupid. You need to eat the rainbow. You need to eat all these magical plants and all this and that and whole grain and fruit juice smoothies. I was an idiot. So what I want you to take away from what I'm about to say is that although your doctors are currently ignorant, and that's not a slur or slander, that's just a statement of current fact, they can change that. They can erase their ignorance. You might take them a copy of my book. You might take them a copy of the Proper Human Diet Guidebook. There's a link down in the show notes if you want to get a free copy. And just say, look, are you sure about your dietary information? Has that been proven? Could you look into this and tell me what you think about this? Because all doctors, if they're worth shooting, if they're worth anything at all, they still want to learn new stuff that's going to help their patients. Now, it may not seem like they're interested in that, but most docs are, unless they're 6 months from retirement or they're in some way incapacitated by lack of sleep or by chemical substances, which does occur, then they're going to be interested in something that helped improve your health.
I was going to say, part of our mission in the next year or two, hopefully as soon as we can, is we've done 7 years of trying to help everyone get healthy. But something we hear every single day is, how do I find a doctor who supports this way of eating and understands the power of a proper human diet? So hopefully soon we'll be able to have a conference for doctors to come and have Dr. Berry, Dr. Westman, Dr. Hampton, all the leading MDs that are driving the Proper Human Diet home on YouTube, to drive it to the provider so you guys can get a doctor that can help you without telling you need this med or you're crazy and red meat's going to kill you.
I was recently hanging out with Dr. Hampton and also Dr. Westman, and all three of us have noticed an increasing frequency of medical students reaching out to us saying, hey, my mom did your diet and man, she looks and feels amazing. I'm really going to keep that in mind when I go through my nutrition class or as I go through medical school. We have resident or training physicians reaching out to us saying, hey, I need a link to all the research because I'm going to start recommending this to my patients and I don't want to get in trouble with my residency supervisor. And then we have tons of young physicians, young pharmacists, young physical therapists, nurse practitioners, physician assistants reaching out and say, I want to implement this into my practice. How exactly do I go about that? So we're working together behind the scenes to come up with some kind of training protocol for primary care doctors. And then when you go to a doctor that says, well, you just need to move more and eat less, you can send them a link and say, you, my friend, need some training.
If you're supporting us in the community, that's one of the missions you are supporting.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you, and we hope to give you more doctors in the coming years.
Laura, is there a protein powder you recommend to get my protein in because I had a gastric sleeve and I can't eat too much? So you can't eat too much at one time, Laura, right? That's the actual truth. But you could break your meals up in an 8-hour window and you could eat 4 or 5 small meals in that 8-hour window and almost, if not quite, get your protein and your fat requirements in. You need both every day. Now, if you say, well, if I break it into 5, I can almost get enough fat and enough protein in, but still not quite enough, then the protein powder that I would say use is what is it called?
The Equip brand is a
Equip.
good one. And then Health Code.
Yep. Health Code, HLTH Code is Professor Ben Bickman, and him and his brother have a protein. But for the vast majority of you guys, listen, look at me, look here. You don't need protein powder. No, you need to eat meat and eggs. Okay. But for Laura, she's in a special situation. She may or may not need a little bit of a protein powder to get her protein intake up.
They use beef isolate is the type of
Yes.
protein that they use. Lori.
Also, Keto Chow shakes now. Some of their shakes,
Some of them.
they're using beef isolate protein instead of whey protein.
And
which,
stevia.
yeah, and I don't want any of you guys to be using whey protein as a protein source. If you're gonna drink a shake and you're like, I don't care, Dr. Berry, I just like to drink protein shakes, then get one with beef isolate, please.
Okay. I just got my thyroid labs. T3 uptake 23%, T4 total 7.1, free T4 1.6, TSH 5.02. Currently taking levothyroxine, 125 mics. Thoughts on the TSH level?
Yeah, if you're still having low thyroid symptoms, then your TSH is too high. You probably need to bump up to 150 on your levothyroxine. Talk to your doctor about that. Or you may need to switch to an equivalent dose of Armor or Nature thyroid. Some people notice they help much more. Mick, my son, has Tourette's. He's 10 years old. He wants me to get him on Carnivore, like me, to stop his tics. Is he too young? Or should we try medication like his neurologist wants? I hate meds for kids. As do I, Mick, as do I. Absolutely. The prescription medication should not be the first answer. It should not be your knee-jerk reaction. 100%. He can eat and benefit from a carnivore diet. Absolutely. I think you'll notice a decrease in the severity of the Tourette's. I think you'll notice a decrease in the overall global symptom measurement of his Tourette's symptoms on a proper human diet, whether it's keto, ketovore, or carnivore. Keep in mind that if he's eating his carnivore diet and he wants a few blueberries or raspberries every now and then, I think that's totally fine. He's 10 years old, right? But if the carnivore diet helps his Tourette's as much as I think it will help, quickly he'll start saying, no, Dad, I don't want any blueberries. I just want to eat my meat because it helps my symptoms so much. And then if the carnivore diet does not help enough, guess what you can still do, Mick? You can go to the doctor and try a low dose of that prescription along with the carnivore diet. Yeah. Thanks, Dawn. Happy and healthy lifestyle. 57-year-old female, 5'10", 149 pounds. Total cholesterol 277, LDL 151, HDL 107, triglycerides 61. On Carnivore 4 months now. Total cholesterol is 324, LDL 222. Have MS, fibro, Hashimoto's, antiphospholipid antibodies. Doc wants me on Zetia because I refuse statins. So if you want to take 10 milligrams of Zetia, Zevia. That's a soft drink. Zetia. If you want to take that, I don't really care. It's not a statin. It's not a PCSK9 inhibitor. Actually, the research shows that it doesn't really do anything at all. And so if that'd be a good compromise with your doctor to say, I'll take a low dose of Zetia, I think that's fine because Zetia literally does nothing. The pharmaceutical companies have made billions off Zetia and it doesn't do anything.
Serena.
Hey, Serena.
Yes, you are an OG. Got labs drawn. A1C is 5.1, but insulin is up 11, up from less than 5 in 2 years. I do have dairy and a lot of stevia in my coffee. What else can be done to lower my insulin level? I'm mad.
Yeah, don't be mad. It could be the dairy. It could be you haven't slept as well for the few days before the lab test. It could be you've got a little more stress or drama or trauma in your life a few days before the lab draw. It doesn't have to mean anything serious or bad. Okay. 11 is still better than probably 85% of the adult US population when it comes to fasting insulin. I would just get it redrawn and make sure everything is spot on and perfect in your life. Chillax, stop letting stuff get to you, get a few nights sleep, and then have it rechecked. You can get it checked now from ownyourlabs.com for $9, I think. It's getting really cheap over there. Dave Feldman has checked so many hundreds of thousands of fasting insulins on himself, mainly, but also other people, that they've got a price break now, and it's much cheaper than it used to be at ownyourlabs.com.
I think if you agree to share your data with his group, you get a discount as well. And he doesn't share it with anybody else. He uses it for statistics.
And it's anonymous data. It's not like your name's connected to it. It's just your lab results and then your demographic information so that they can use it for research studies. And you get a discount if you let him share that.
Thanks, Dina. ZD Black, 21, was seborrheic dermatitis after 2 courses of Accutane. Low carb for 2 weeks. I eat a lot of chicken, but concerned about the seed oils that are fed to them. Is this a valid concern?
For most people, I don't think it's a valid concern. XD Black. But for you with your seborrheic dermatitis, so you've been low carb for 2 weeks.
It's the dairy.
Yeah, you need to go carnivore. Beef, butter, bacon, and eggs for 90 days and watch your dermatitis literally get 99% better, if not even better than that. Then you can start to experiment, add back in chicken, see if it comes back a little bit, add some pork, see if it comes back. Then add some veg, some nuts, some berries, and see what really triggers it and what doesn't. But for seborrheic dermatitis, carnivore is the way, at least initially. Then after 90 days, and you're like, holy crap, it's so much better. Then you can start to experiment and see if anything makes it come back over on keto or low carb.
If you can get pastured chicken, awesome, but it's not going to be that big of a difference.
Pasture-raised chicken.
As opposed to you just eating beef, chicken, eggs, and cutting out the dairy. Paola, one of our coaches, says you get a 10% discount off for checking the Citizen Scientist.
Over on ownyourlabs.com. Polly, you guys are cool. Heart eyes.
No.
Sunglasses. Super cool sunglass eyes. Try a PhD, get sick, eat fatty meat. Yeah. If you want to feel better, eat your fatty meat.
Jenna, I just want to know how to calculate my daily macros on my Fitness Pal. All of the apps are a little bit different, but there's almost, I think on all of them now, there's a keto option, or you can do make my own macros. That's what I recommend everybody do. And set your protein goal to, the easiest way to do it is 1 gram of protein per pound of goal body weight. Make sure your goal body weight is realistic. Okay, so let's say your goal body weight's 120 pounds. Your protein goal would be 120 grams. Then set your fat macro to be around 120 grams and set your carbs to be under 20 total per day. And that's a good starting point.
Yep. I love it. Yep. Martha, bariatric sleeve, March of 23, lost 10 pounds. Started strict carnivore, July 23, no weight lost. Insulin 5.4, C-peptide 2.8. So frustrated. I wish you'd put your A1C in there, Martha. So you've been doing, July, August, September, October, November, 4 months. So have you had a complete thyroid panel? Because very often in women, and also in men, an undiagnosed thyroid problem will just make it impossible to lose weight. An undiagnosed sex hormone deficiency, an undiagnosed adrenal gland hormone problem can make these sorts of things happen. This is why getting all the lab work checked in the book that I wrote called Common Sense Labs with my friend Kim Howerton, that's why that book is so valuable, because it helps you know, oh, they didn't check this or that. I could still have this disease and they just wouldn't know about it because they didn't check it. I love that you know about fasting insulin and C-peptide, but there are other tests that you may not know about that are in the Common Sense Labs book. There's a link in the show notes if you want to check it out. But the second thing I would say is have some patience, Martha. I'm guessing that you've been metabolically ill for decades. This is not going to happen overnight or in a few weeks or in a few months. Are you taking your body measurements? Because you should be, because many women will notice their inches are shrinking long before the scale moves. Okay, keep doing what you're doing. Have some patience, have some faith, get all your labs checked.
Thank you,
Mangesh.
Derek. Hello, y'all. We're great.
Thank you.
I'm on 500 milligrams.
Augmentin. Okay. What is the best way to get my gut health back after I'm off this? Continue on carnivore. Yeah. So the number one way to get your gut bacteria rebalanced is to eat a very strict, proper human diet after a round of antibiotics. That's going to that's just going to normalize the balances and the ratios of the good bacteria versus the bad bacteria. You never eradicate all of any bacteria in your gut. There's always a few in there, almost like seed bacteria, just waiting for an opportunity to take off. And so when you kill a lot of the good bacteria with Augmentin, then sometimes some bad bacteria can really overpopulate. Then you've got diarrhea, bloating, gas, pain, cramping. But so carnivore for sure. But then if that doesn't seem to be helping, go to the health food store and buy the really expensive probiotic in the refrigerated section that actually has living bacteria in it that might help balance the gut bacteria. Omit. Carnivore for 12 days, severe gut pain like constipation. So if you're having severe belly pain, you need to see your doctor ASAP. Okay. If you're saying that you have constipation, then you may or may not have constipation, because on carnivore, you don't make as much poop. And so a lot of people just notice, oh, I'm not pooping as much, and they assume they're constipated, but they're not. They're just not making as much poop. But if you're having severe gut pain, you need to see your doctor right now or go to the emergency department.
What's up, Larry?
Hey, Larry, thank you.
Peg, I'm carnivore for 4 months. My son with Down syndrome is 51, and I'm trying very hard to improve his diet, which is difficult since Down syndrome people are very habitual.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any tips or definitive recommendations? Please.
Yes. Do this very, very slowly. First of all, are there any keto carnivore foods that you already know that he loves? Because he can have second helpings of those. He can have bigger portions of those as you slowly minimize portions of the other foods that he eats out of habit that are not keto or carnivore friendly. Does that make sense? But
there are alternatives to almost every single thing. So he likes chicken nuggets. I have 5 different variations of chicken nuggets recipes. Meatloaf. Most kids or people who have Down syndrome, they like simple things. Meatloaf is very simple. Chicken nuggets, very simple. You can get the sugar-free ketchup. Just alternatives to the things that he already likes. Make them look as close to what the original thing looked like, right? Yep. That's the best way. It's just sneak it in the back door.
Yep. Slowly, lovingly.
Looking very, and if the snack foods like chips and stuff, there's alternatives to that now. Just simply switching out the oils, taking out the seed oils.
Yep.
buying better quality.
And this is a great example of one of the, I know right now it's hot in
freezing
here.
now, I'm burning up.
There are exceptions to every rule. And so I'm a huge proponent of eat real whole one ingredient keto or carnivore foods. But in Peg's case, if he loves Doritos currently, right? And she's like, we got to get rid of the Doritos. They're such crap. And she replaces the Doritos with
Quest or high-low chips.
Yeah, that look and taste like, that's going to be way less bad. It's all, and she's moved him closer to a proper human diet, even though I don't think they are PhD. They're less bad, right?
But it
They're
looks
closer.
very similar. It comes in the same type of packaging. It's not you didn't cook them in the oven and say, here, look, I made you some homemade chips.
Yep. And Peg, we've gotten feedback from hundreds of moms and dads with Downs kids who report vast improvements in behavior and increased ability to perform activities of daily living. So I think you're going to love that you have transitioned him, but do it very slowly and lovingly.
Katie C says, my 7-year-old daughter has Down syndrome. I've been able to get her to a keto diet, slowly going to carnivore. It takes time.
Yep. There you go. Time and love. And all moms know about time and love because so many things take that. And also, most wives know about time and love too, because sometimes you have to have some patience with your husband as well. Sama, been carnivore for years, currently on antibiotics. Did we do this already?
Different question.
Okay, so same essential question: probiotics, yes or no? So you don't need to modify your PhD at all. You need to eat a very strict PhD through the antibiotics and after. And then if you're having gut symptoms after the antibiotics, most people won't have any on a proper human diet. Okay. They'll be like, no, I can't really tell it affected me at all. Keep eating your proper human diet. But if you're like, no, God, I got cramping or bloating or diarrhea, constipation, whatever, then go to the health food store and get the expensive probiotics out of the refrigerated section. Hint, we don't sell probiotics, so we're not going to make a penny off that. But don't buy the probiotics at Walmart or Sam's or Kroger or Kmart. They're literally worthless.
Thank you, Allie. Thank you, John.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
Other John.
Has everybody hit the thumbs up?
Allie.
Have you hit the thumbs up?
John,
it's just
how do we count carbs for keto? Total carbs or net carbs? Carbs minus fiber. I hear both are interchangeable.
Yeah. If you would like to reach success sooner, count total carbs. Okay. Some people can count net carbs and they do fine. Other people, if they count net carbs, they stall out. And so if you're losing weight like crazy, count net carbs, keep doing that. But if you're stalled out, count total carbs.
I say count total carbs, period, full stop.
Yeah.
Net carbs is nonsense.
Yep. So often they're trying to fool you with
it's always on
soluble
products.
fiber, right? Oh, it's oat fiber, it's wheat fiber. That all breaks down into starch and therefore sugar. Just because something says fiber does not mean that it's 0 calorie. That is not true. Oh, Sadak. I diagnosed with Alport syndrome. Type 4 collagen disorder affects the kidney, and ANA positive. Carnivore, okay. 100% carnivore is going to protect your kidney function. My med info expected no med. Oh yeah, this is not medical advice. That's exactly right. But absolutely, either keto, ketovore, carnivore are going to protect your remaining kidney function from this genetic defect. Absolutely. I've got several videos on my YouTube channel about kidney health, polycystic kidney disease, chronic kidney disease. Everything I talk about in those 2 videos are going to protect your kidney function as well, regardless of what your diagnosis is.
Here's KAC. What? Oh, FedEx. Here's KAC, one of your buddies from Bastrop, Texas.
Hey.
Tim says hi. A few people there looking into carnivore way of eating. Hopefully, girlfriend and I help nudge them in that direction. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you, Tim. I love it.
Justina.
What are your thoughts on colostrum supplements? I'm going to let you take this.
What is going on with the colostrum?
More and more influencers are pushing it. This is because more and more influencers are hard up for money, and they want you to use their affiliate link so they can get a 15% payout.
Listen, okay? My problem here is that I recommend products too, okay? And I have affiliate links too, but only
if
for
that makes
things
sense.
That I like electrolytes and meat and, real things.
Yeah. So Tina,
Colostrum.
are you a newborn infant? If your answer is no, then colostrum, it's literally witch doctory just to act like the colostrum is going to do anything for you. If colostrum did anything for mammals as adults, there would be examples of mammals like weasels and skunks and raccoons that would sneak into the barn at night and suck the teats of sleeping cows to get the colostrum. There is no such example in the mammal world at all. Zero, none, ever.
Listen.
You don't need colostrum unless you're a elite level bodybuilder. Then
No,
maybe.
you don't. No.
I said maybe.
No.
You still don't. It's dumb.
No.
Colostrum is.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Colostrum's more dumb than lemon water.
It's close. Listen, what they're claiming about it, guess what does that better? PhD, baby.
Proper
meat-based, low inflammatory foods,
yes.
doing 90 days of strict carnivore, kicking out the dairy for 90 days. Those things, also cheaper. Or you can at least reinvest that money into meat.
Also, where are they getting the colostrum from? Is it human colostrum or is it from another mammal?
It's beef, I think.
It's cow colostrum. And so how do they get a reliable, continuous source of colostrum from cows? Now I can see how you get milk because you take their baby away and then you keep milking them, right? That's how we get milk from cows. But how do you continue to get colostrum? Think about that. Are they giving the cows hormones to keep them in that newborn phase? Just the whole thing is foolishness and fishy to me. I wouldn't take a colostrum supplement if you paid me. And I definitely would never sell one.
Here's what I will say. If you're a mom who is breastfeeding your infant and you got some bad or overdue milk in the fridge that you froze, you can put that in your bath water. There you go. There you go. You can put it on your acne.
Yep.
But that's it.
Yep.
If it didn't come fresh from your own booby, you don't need it.
100% agree. Holly Crazy, how you doing? Sis, good to see you here. Newbie, hi. I literally just got back from trying to give blood and I was turned down due to low hemoglobin. I include plenty of liver and red meat in my diet. Any other advice? No, that's it. How long have you been including red meat and liver in your diet? If it's just a few weeks or even a few months, then that may be not long enough to bring you back from a severe iron deficiency anemia or B12 anemia. Are you having any kind of hemolytic issues in your body? You might have an undiagnosed medical condition. You may be losing blood through your newbie. I don't know if you're male or female. So humans could lose blood through their urine, through their bowel movements, or through their vagina, if you have one, and not know it. It can be microscopic. So you need to get all those sources of blood loss checked. Make sure your spleen is not chewing up blood cells inappropriately. Make sure your bone marrow is making blood appropriately. And then keep eating red meat and liver, and before long, you'll have a normal hemoglobin.
Darla, mom, 80 years old on 40 units of insulin. Advice for starting her out on carnivore. Does she keep taking her insulin? Her doctor isn't recommending it and says mom will always need insulin because she can't make her own.
So first thing first.
Are you type 1 or type 2?
Check a fasting. Well, you can't check a fasting insulin in this case. So you're going to check a C-peptide. If it's 0 or close to it, then she's a type 1 and she'll need insulin, some amount of insulin. But if her C-peptide is 0.7 or higher, if you get her on a low enough carb diet, she won't need any insulin whatsoever. Your doctor is just wrong. Okay, you heard the if in there, right? Good. So now, how do you transition? You go to the doctor with mom and tell him, look, we're going to switch her to a low-carb diet. And carnivore is a low-carb diet. And we need your help. How do we monitor her blood sugar so that we know how to step down her insulin? Because I know for a fact the fewer carbs she eats, the less insulin she will need. Even your doctor should surely agree with that. Even if he thinks she'll need some degree of insulin forever, she's going to need less insulin if she eats fewer carbs. So when you put it like that, we're going to do this without your help. Now, if you don't want to help, we'll find another doctor. But I thought you might like the chance to help mom to safely step down her insulin as she converts to a low-carb diet. And I think your doctor will help you in that situation if you phrase it like that. And if your doctor doesn't help you, fire their ass and find a doctor who will help you, because this is a very rational request on your part.
And if you can't find a doctor, you can find a nurse practitioner maybe.
100%.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Used to, I would not have agreed with Georgia. But after the last 7 or 8 years of hearing the idiotic crap come out of the mouths of doctors and then talk to physician's assistants and nurse practitioners, and they've got the proper human diet figured out like in spades. I no longer say, oh, you need a real doctor. No. A PA is fine. A nurse practitioner is fine. A doctor who understands a proper human diet is fine. But just because somebody's got an MD,
unless you have a specific problem, then see a specialist.
Exactly, right. Yeah.
For your general needs,
right.
PAs and NPs,
yes, 100%,
they're fantastic.
100% just as good.
Studio X, 7 weeks carnivore.
Carnivore. Wait a minute now. Wait, are carnivore or did you mean carnivore?
I think he meant carnivore. Lost 4 pounds, then gained 8. Start carnivore after years of IBS. Definitely seeing some improvement.
Yep.
Any suggestions?
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. A lot of people will have a little bit of initial weight gain as their body heals. And then the weight will, if you've got excess weight to lose, the weight will start to come off. Keep doing what you're doing.
Wendy, Dr. Berry has a Spanish YouTube. It only has a few videos, but they are translated into Spanish. We hired somebody to do that. But
it's Dr. Berry in Espanol. And there's 5 videos, I think.
Yeah. There are some Spanish influencers, more and more coming into the space that actually speak in Spanish. Can you think of any off the top? He's done collabs.
There's several
with
on
some
Instagram.
Most of them are doing lives on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm blanking on names. But if people start watching Dr. Berry in Espanol and the views pick up, I'll happily add some more videos that are been translated into Spanish. But it's super expensive to do that right now, and so I can't do that unless there's actual demand for it.
Jacob, I've done keto a few times and got very itchy rash on my chest. Any recommendations on how to deal with this?
Yeah, it could very likely be oxalate dumping or some other temporary syndrome. I would do 90 days of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, Jacob. That way you know you're not being exposed to anything that's causing the rash. Then if you get it, you'll know it's oxalate dumping or something like that, and you won't worry about it because you'll know it's temporary and it's going to get better and go away and never happen again.
Lightning round, Ken.
All right, let's go.
Lightning round. Debbie.
I am ready.
Friend of mine was just diagnosed with blood cancer. Can a carnivore diet help him? If not, can you recommend any treatment for him? Thanks for everything you do.
Yeah, a carnivore diet or a ketovore or keto are going to give him the nutrients that his body needs to fight not only the cancer, but also to stay strong in the face of chemotherapy and radiation therapy. It's not going to cure blood cancer. It's not a solid tumor. You're not going to starve blood cancer like you would starve breast cancer or prostate cancer by eating no sugar. But it is going to help make his terrain, his body, much stronger and better able to persevere in the face of the cancer and the chemo and the radiation.
Do that again.
Me and Beckett, we go, mighty fists, and then we fight.
Jessica, what do you recommend for women with kidney issues? My doctor tells me to avoid animal protein and eat more plant protein since it's hard on the kidneys.
Yeah, that's complete ignorance, what your doctor's telling you, Jessica. There's literally not any physiological principle in human anatomy or physiology that supports that. There's also no research that shows that what your doctor is saying is true. This is propaganda. You need to eat animal protein, okay? There is not a shred of evidence in the literature. There's no common sense to say, oh gosh, the animal protein that we've eaten for 3 million years now is bad for human kidneys. That's just foolishness on its face. And there's no research to support it. Okay. Ask your doctor, Jessica, go to him and say, hey, could you print me out the research that proves that plant protein is better for my kidneys than animal protein? I'd like a copy of that, please. And watch their face closely. That'll give you your answer. Mangesh again.
Can endometriosis be cured by carnivore diet for a 36-year-old female? Any other tips to increase and help with fertility? Any supplements? Yeah, endometriosis is very tightly linked with hyperinsulinemia, and nothing reverses hyperinsulinemia quicker than a carnivore diet. Keto does reverse it. So does Ketovore, but carnivore reverses it the quickest. And so if this 36-year-old female is wanting to get pregnant in the near future, 90 days of carnivore, high-fat carnivore. Okay, that's what I recommend, and that's what Dr. Robert Kiltz, who's our good friend, who is a fertility specialist, that's what he would recommend as well. High-fat carnivore is going to help her be procreative and fertile, also help
her with her chronic inflammation, help her lose some weight.
Also, I would recommend the book. It Starts with the Egg. You can find that on Amazon. It does have a list of supplements. I'm not saying you need all of those supplements, but if you would like to educate yourself on what's recommended and then run that by Dr. Kiltz in one of his Q&As, that might be helpful.
Yep. Where are we at? Right here?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't see what you did there. Sam, 34-year-old male, been on carnivore for 2 years, lost 95 pounds so far. Currently 165 pounds, 5'4", got off 3 blood pressure meds, still on levothyroxine, which is fake thyroid replacement hormone. Full thyroid panel, no autoimmune condition. Any hopes for stopping or replacing this med? So if you have true hypothyroidism, then you're probably going to be on some form of thyroid replacement hormone for life. A lot of people notice that on carnivore, they don't need as high a dose of levothyroxine, but they still always need a little bit just because of the damage that's previously been done to the thyroid. It doesn't seem like the thyroid can regenerate as well as other organs like the liver can.
We have over 4,000 people watching this live stream.
Huzzah!
That means so many of you shared it. Thank you for doing that.
Yes, thank you very much.
A reminder, we do not have a Facebook group. If you want to join our private community, this is where you need to go, drberry.com/community.
It feels like a Facebook group, but we don't sell your private information.
It's so much better.
And also inside this private group, things that you can't talk about on YouTube and on Facebook, we can talk about in the private community.
Also in December, we're doing a bunch of giveaways. If you are active in the group, that means you show up, you hang out, you interact with people, you show the love, you share your food, you share everything that has to
that you want to share.
Right. You don't have to share everything. I mean, but
you could. It's fun. Yeah.
Make friends and hang out with me, Dr. Berry, the rest of our PhD coaches. We have books to give away, autographed copies of Lies My Doctor Told Me, Kicking Ass After 50. I think we might even have some Common Sense Labs that we're giving away, T-shirts or merch.
What about that festive keto cookbook? Any autographed copies of that?
Some autographed copies of the keto cookbook that I have. You can find that on Amazon if you just want it right now.
Let's just talk about that book for a second. You know, Thanksgiving's coming up and Christmas is coming up. Wouldn't you love to take a delicious keto-friendly or carnivore-friendly dish to family Thanksgiving or Christmas or Hanukkah and not tell anybody that it's keto or carnivore and just sit it down and let everybody gobble it up, get seconds and be like, damn, that was good. What was that? And when the meal's over and they've all loved it and bragged about it, then you're going to say, I'll tell you what it was. That was proper human diet, baby. You're welcome.
When they all ask how you look so good, you can say, maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's, no, what is it? Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's keto.
Oh,
maybe.
I like it.
Because I bet you anything. Some of you are going to your gatherings. You haven't seen a lot of your family in a year. You've lost some weight. You've got that groove back. And a lot of your friends and family are going to be like, wow, you look amazing.
Absolutely. You know it's going to happen. And when they ask the key question,
what have you been doing?
That means they're ready to learn and they'll listen to you.
I will say, don't say I've been doing keto.
Right.
Lead off with, I cut out processed sugars and grains and inflammatory foods. And now I just eat a proper Tammy diet, proper Rebecca diet, whatever. Because that's really what it is.
Absolutely.
Truly.
Absolutely. If you haven't already done so, you know we've had some great stories shared in the comments tonight. Hit the share button and share this on your favorite social media. That's how Neisha and I reach new people. That's how we're able to help new people who have never heard about this stuff. There are people out there that literally don't know what you're talking about, like our previous questioner's doctor who said that plant protein is better for your kidneys than animal protein. That doctor needs to hear some of these videos. So if you know that doctor, click the share button and send them an email with a link, please.
If you're in the community, we'll see you tomorrow. If you're not in the community, we'll see you next week.
We're doing another live tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central inside the private group. This is where you go. On average in there with all the coaches and Neisha and I, there's literally 10 live Q&As a week
Give or take.
easy in there every week. Sometimes with me, sometimes with Neisha and I, sometimes just Neisha, sometimes with the coaches. The coaches go together. Each coach has a different life story. And one of our coaches has a life story that strongly resembles your life story.
Probably.
And they can take you by the hand and say, you know, I used to be right where you're at. Come on, let me show you what's about to happen to you.
If not, though, guess what? We'll see you next week. Hope you all have a very, very thankful Thanksgiving. Don't forget to give thanks for all the things in your life, including your health. Don't take it for granted. Make changes where you can. Small changes turn into big changes.
Be thankful for your friends and family who are nice to you and do good things for you. And also be thankful for your friends and family who are mean to you and do mean things, because they're actually teaching you how not to behave. It's always a bonus and always a victory, depending on how you look at it.
We're thankful for you and our coaches and our mentors and our VIPs. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next week.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Love you, mean it.
Love you, mean it.